12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A man is shot in the head on San Antonio's east side. Find out what investigators are saying now about the suspect that shot him.
The U.S. confirming Ukrainian reports that Russia is now using Iranian-made drones in its deadly airstrikes. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with the U.S.'s warning to other nations found to support Russia's fight.
And taking a look outside with a live cam, we're starting at a cool 59 degrees. What a change this morning.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 18th. It is beautiful out there.
It's lovely. So we were thankful for the rain yesterday and now the cool weather.
I know. The rain was so nice. My rain gauge, Mike, got just a little under an inch, like maybe 0.8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. About 2/3, just shy of 2/3 officially out there at the airport. Some folks obviously picked up, set a record over in Del Rio for the daily rainfall total. And still got a little bit of rain out there right now. We're going to show you that. Just a couple of showers left over. But boy, oh boy, it is. Yeah, it's a nice morning. Even yesterday afternoon, it felt just like fall out there. And here's what temperatures look like. Mid-50s already in the hill country, 60 here in town. Will continue to drop down because we've got really, really dry air. These numbers, dew points, measure moisture in the atmosphere, are down a good 20, 25, close to 30 degrees compared to this time yesterday with all that dry air that moved on in here. We do have a bit of a breeze, 10, 15 mile per hour winds, a little bit of a breeze throughout the afternoon. Here's some of those showers that are left over. One or two, just a little right there in northern Bandera County, moving off to the east, and then further on down to the south, Pearsall, Dilley. You've got some of these just to the south of Pleasanton. Everything again sliding off to the east, most on the light side, but then there are a few pretty good, a couple of lightning strikes over there in southern Maverick County. Again, everything sliding to the east, so you'll get some more rain around Crystal City as well as Carrizo Springs, and this will be throughout the morning hours, the majority of it down to the south. And allergens, mold, no surprise there on the high side after some of that moisture this morning. Grab a jacket before you head out to the bus. We'll have some of those showers, a couple of them in the hill country down to the south. 53 when it's all said and done here and down, so we will continue to obviously drop down. And then after school today, 68 degrees, more sunshine. The next couple of mornings are going to be just downright cold. How long does that last? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Sarah.
Thank you, Mike. San Antonio police say a 24-year-old man is dead after being shot in the head on the east side. Now, officers were called to an apartment complex around the evening time in the 1000 block of Locke Street near I-35 for reports of a shooting. Police say the man was shot at least once in the head. It's not clear right now if he was shot more than once. Now, police say the victim died at the scene. Homicide unit investigators are looking for more evidence, and officers on the scene did not have any suspect details to release at that time. Investigators are interviewing the victim's family to gather more information.
Well, parts of Ukraine's capital city are in shambles this morning after the latest rounds of Russian air assaults.
As ABC's Justin Finch reports, U.S. defense officials say Moscow used Iranian-made drones to carry out those deadly air raids on Kyiv, raising concerns about a deepening alliance between Russia and Iran.
After months of relative calm, Ukraine's capital city, Kyiv, is back in the Kremlin's crosshairs, coming under fire again. In his address, Ukraine's President Zelensky reporting the latest Russian air attack killed at least 4 in Kyiv, including a pregnant woman. Zelensky also saying his forces shot down more than 30 Iranian-made Shahed drones Russia used to wage those deadly strikes. The U.S. also noting Russia's pivot from missiles to Iranian drones, calling it cause for global concern.
Russia deepening an alliance with Iran is something the whole world should, especially those in the region and across the world, frankly, should be seen as a profound threat.
And saying U.S. intelligence is finding Russia is deliberately targeting non-military targets and civilian infrastructure to inflict terror. Those attacks leading to dire conditions across Ukraine. This man saying he and his family have no electricity, water, or gas. Crews working to keep utilities online as temperatures drop.
We are going to continue to work with our allies and partners. We will continue to impose costs on Russia, hold them accountable.
The White House says the U.S. will continue to back Ukraine, announcing $725 billion in additional security funding last week. The U.S. believes Iran has likely supplied hundreds of drones to Russia and is warning other nations against supporting Russia, saying the U.S. will not hesitate to use sanctions in response. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Well, if you have federal student loans, you might be eligible for thousands of dollars in relief. StudentAid.gov is now taking debt relief applications from people with federal student loans. To qualify, borrowers must meet certain requirements, but could that extra spending power increase inflation? Some Democrats say no, but the nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says yes. It estimates the president's student debt policies altogether could boost inflation between 1/6 and 1/4 point over the next year. Another drawback of his loan initiatives is that taxpayers foot the bill. Several lawsuits are challenging this latest student loan forgiveness policy. A U.S. district judge could soon decide whether to temporarily block it.
The Army Corps of Engineers is building a levee in the Mississippi River to protect drinking water. The problem is the river's water flow is low due to drought, and at the same time, sea levels are rising. That is causing salt water from the Gulf of Mexico to push up into the river. The 1,500-foot wide levee will be underwater and made from sediment dredged from the river's bottom. It is scheduled to be done in about a week. Salt water has already infiltrated one water treatment plant. That facility and another the intrusion is threatening are downriver from the levee and will not be protected by it.
It's 4:36 and 59 degrees.
And many are turning to collagen supplements to help ward off the natural aging process. So is taking more collagen really the answer? What new research says about keeping yourself healthy?
And your San Antonio Spurs are ready to start the new season off tomorrow against the Charlotte Hornets. Here what Coach Pop is saying so far about one of the youngest teams he's ever coached.
Yay, go Spurs go. A quick look at the roads with TransGuide looking over at I-10 and Callahan, where things are moving at this hour.
Man, it felt so good walking outside this morning, wearing long sleeves and actually being like, oh man, it's actually a little chilly out here. 59 degrees at 4:37. Fall is really here. How long will these temps stick around for? Mike will let us know when we come back.
And when the Spurs tip off their regular season tomorrow against the Charlotte Hornets, it will mark the 27th season for Greg Popovich as head coach. Now, during the nearly 3 decades at the helm of other teams have been through an average of 3 coaches. But this season will be the biggest challenge of his career because he's coaching the youngest roster in Spurs history. And that includes 5 19-year-olds. To get down to the required roster limit, the Spurs released Joe Wieskamp, their second-round pick in 2021. As a result, Pop tells us that he will be letting this year's first-round pick, Jeremy Sohan, learn by doing.
We got to give him some space, let him make some mistakes and take time to feel comfortable at both ends of the court. But it's a whole new world for him. But he's got all the tools to do very well there, so we just want to throw him in a frying pan and see how he does.
And tip-off tomorrow against the Charlotte Hornets, set for 7 p.m. here at the AT&T Center.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
And Dak is back. That is what we are hearing from everyone, including Prescott himself. Now, following the Cowboys' loss to the Eagles in Philadelphia, it appears that Prescott will make his return when the Cowboys host Lions in AT&T Stadium this Sunday at noon. Now, that's after he missed the last 5 games after breaking a bone in his throwing thumb in the season opener. Now, Prescott told reporters that he has every intention of practicing at full speed on Wednesday and playing on Sunday. Head coach Mike McCarthy backed that up.
Dak is going to be cleared here officially. I think I haven't spoken to the medical group yet, but the anticipation is for Dak to be cleared today or tomorrow, and then he'll be returned to practice on Wednesday.
So give credit to Cooper Rush, who won 4 out of the 5 games he started in place of Dak to keep them in contention for the NFC East title. UTSA Roadrunners have arguably had their biggest game of the season this Saturday in the Alamo Dome when they host North Texas. Now, UTSA leads Conference USA with 5-2 overall record, but the Mean Green are right behind them at 4-3, and both are 3-0 in conference play. Still, the Roadrunners are favored by 9.5 points. However, the Mean Green handed the Roadrunners their first loss in their historic season last year, and that's with the sixth in the nation in rushing. Head coach Jeff Traylor says the Dome needs to be packed this weekend.
They're going to be hard to stop. Now, we're going to need that Alamo Dome to be 35,000 minimum, and we're going to need Sosa, the cheerleaders, every kind of music speaker we can have blasted in the Alamo Dome until that ball snaps. We don't want to break any rules, but until then, that thing needs to be just rocking.
Yes, it does. Go Roadrunners. Kickoff in the Alamo Dome on Saturday is set for 2:30 p.m. Be there.
I love that.
Right?
Everybody. Speaker, let's get extra speakers in there. Not breaking any rules.
Right. Of course.
All right. Go Roadrunners. It is 4:43 and 59 degrees.
A lot of people are turning to collagen with the hopes of looking and feeling younger, but does it actually work? We're going to tell you what the experts are saying next.
A wife is accused of poisoning her husband by putting Drano in his lemonade. Find out how her attorney is defending her in court.
And welcome back. It's 4:46. A California woman accused of poisoning her husband with drain cleaner is going to court. ABC's Kana Whitworth has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the wife accused of poisoning her husband with drain cleaner appearing in court. The couple fighting over custody of their two children after Dr. Emily Yu, was seen in these surveillance images captured on a hidden camera, allegedly pouring the powerful drain cleaner into her husband's lemonade on 3 separate occasions. In a statement, Yu's attorney telling ABC News, Emily absolutely and unequivocally denies ever having attempted to poison her husband or anyone else. She further denies ever abusing her husband or children in any way, shape, or manner.
This is an incredibly intimate way to commit a murder. She had to know what his routine was, what his preferences were.
And we'll tell you what's next in this case, coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Kana Whitworth, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, something Steph and I have been having a conversation about. Have you heard of the collagen craze? It's a big trend among people wanting to turn back the clock on their skin and joints.
12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has more on whether there are real benefits to collagen supplements or if it's just hype.
Tracy Eck is into exercise, tennis, weight training, even Pilates. When she started having knee pain, her doctor recommended surgery. But first, Tracy tried collagen supplements just to see what all the hype was about.
6 to 8 weeks after I started, I didn't go to my freezer and pull out my ice packs that I usually do and sit and ice my knees. It felt like a miracle to me.
She did have surgery, and she's been taking collagen daily since, in her coffee and even in soup. She's hardly alone. Americans spent $222 million last year on collagen supplements. So what makes this protein?
As we age, we produce less of it, so our skin can start to sag or wrinkle. And without fresh collagen, our tendons, ligaments, and joints can also become less flexible.
So is taking more collagen the answer? Consumer Report says early research shows promise, but more is needed. You can also up your intake with collagen-rich foods like bone broth or tough cuts of meat. But adequate amounts of any protein like chicken, fish, cheese, and nuts will provide what a body needs to make collagen. Pretty much what Tracy eats in addition to collagen supplements.
I think it's really made a difference with my nails. My nails are harder, they're sturdier.
Collagen may not be the key to eternal youth, but it is having a moment. There are things that speed up collagen loss, like smoking, sun exposure, excessive alcohol and sugar, and lack of sleep. Marilyn Moritz, Ksat 12 News.
Well, darn, lack of sleep, collagen cancel each other out for us, Steph. All right, taking a look outside with the roads. You know, I'm not really seeing any flashing lights at this time out there, but if we do, we will let you know about it.
That's right. For now, we'll go ahead and check in with Mike. We are enjoying this fall weather. Thank you for that.
Yesterday afternoon, went outside and it just, it smelled good. It felt like it's.
I love the smell of fall.
Yeah. And it does this morning
like
as
roasted
well.
corn or something.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if anybody's Buddy's firing anything up, but that sounds really good. So here's a rain gauge, 0.6 of an inch, but it was still raining at this point and picked up just over, or I should say just shy of 2/3 of an inch of rain officially out there at the airport. Some folks picked up a whole lot more than that, but boy, oh boy, it was so beautiful to see. Nothing out there in town as of right now. We are at 60, 55 Bernie Stage, 54 in Comfort, and we're not done cooling off yet. Los Maples at 53 degrees because now we do have some clouds that acts like a little bit of a blanket, but we've got really, really dry air. So I think we continue to drop down another 4, 5, 6 degrees kind of across the board before it's all said and done. Dew points down 28 degrees compared to this time yesterday. We still had some humidity left over. We are up right around 62, 63 or so for a dew point here in town at this point. And now down in third, and look at that. I mean, that dry air moved on in here, and this dry air is going to be sticking around. Now, we do still have a couple of light little showers around the area. There are 1 or 2 of them right here in portions of the hill country, just a few. It almost looks like those are starting to fizzle out a little bit. But down to the south, we've got a couple of more that are right moving through Atascosa County, just to the south of Pleasanton. A few more around Dilley, even a couple of decent downpours there. And then a lot more well off to the southwest, I should say, Dimmitt County, Maverick County, even a couple of lightning strikes there. So you're getting more beneficial rain down here to the south. And all this, as you can see, continues to work its way straight to the east. So this will all, majority being staying down to the south, which is what computer models are indicating. Perhaps a little sprinkle here in town. Just don't be surprised by it, but I wouldn't count on it too much. That's just down to the south. Then we start to clear on out as the afternoon rolls on and more sunshine. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful day today with a few clouds left over. We've got that 20% chance, and just taking into account the rain down to the south, temperatures in the 50s, and then we see a little bit more sunshine. More sunshine. We continue to clear out throughout the day. 68 for a high temperature then later on today. And as far as the humidity, we will continue to see the dry air pump on in here, even drier air. And so what this is going to do is by tomorrow morning as well as Thursday morning, let temperatures really, really drop down. We are looking at downright cold air coming on in here with 40s, mid 40s. That's here in town. So subtract 5, 6, 10 degrees in the hill country. Yeah, really cold. 62 at noon today. Partly cloudy skies. We'll still have a couple of those showers throughout the morning hours down to the south. 68 for a high temperature. A lot more sunshine. Continue to clear out throughout the day. And then tomorrow, excuse me, start off at 45. Now look at the huge warm up then. We gained 30 degrees throughout the day, getting us up into the mid 70s. Really, really dry air. 48 Thursday morning, 55 once again Friday. The mid and latter part of the work week, absolutely fantastic. Then more humidity by the weekend, and we'll be up in the mid 80s. So we're going to be on the warm side again by the weekend, but another shot at some rain by Monday, and then another front's going to move through. It looks like perhaps late Monday into Tuesday. So.
Okay, well, that's a payoff, I guess, after a warm weekend, some more rain.
Just enjoy today, tomorrow.
45, wow.
Love it, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mike.
And time now, 4:52 and 59 degrees for now.
All right, up next, actor George Clooney talks about his new role alongside Julia Roberts, plus Kanye West buys a social media company. All right, a superhero actor is going to trial for a burglary charge, plus George Clooney and Julia Roberts reunite in a new movie.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
The Flash star Ezra Miller seems to be headed for trial after being accused of breaking into a neighbor's home in Vermont and stealing bottles of booze. Miller pleaded not guilty Monday to the felony burglary charge, which carries a maximum of 26 years in prison, the latest in a string of bizarre incidents involving the actor who, in the past year, was arrested several times in Hawaii and accused of inappropriate behavior with a minor. Miller recently admitted to mental health issues and is seeking treatment. A little over a week after being locked out of Twitter and Instagram for anti-Semitic comments, Kanye West is buying his own platform, the Twitter doppelganger Parler, which is known as a refuge for conservative thought. Parler has around 700,000 active monthly users, compared to Twitter's 238 million daily tweeters.
Excuse me, ma'am, I need to sit somewhere else. We used to be married.
Worst 19 years of my life.
We were only married for 5.
I'm counting the recovery.
In the upcoming film Ticket to Paradise, George Clooney and Julia Roberts play exes reunited by the engagement engagement of their daughter. They're not exactly happy with the news and try to stop the wedding. So how will Clooney react when his now 5-year-old twins bring home their fiancés?
Since I started a little later, I'll just be in, adult diapers, so it really won't much matter. I'll just be like, she'll be like, I'm going to marry this guy, and I'll be like, and then, okay. Just keep me clean.
Ticket to Paradise is in theaters this weekend. And happy birthday, Zac Efron, the greatest beer run ever actor, is 35 today, while Grammy-winning singer Neo is 43. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
I really want to see that.
The movie with George Clooney, yeah.
Love George Clooney. And Julia Roberts, who ages and she just continues to get more beautiful.
Oh, she's beautiful. We're excited about this one.
All right, it's 4:57 and 59 degrees.
And early voting has already begun for the midterm elections in some places around the country. Find out who is leading so far and why the results in other states are so important this election season.
And the punishment phase continues today in the trial of a local man and his stepson convicted of murder, what their maximum punishment could be, and what witnesses are now saying about how it happened.
And still ahead on GMSA at 6, celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg, Tom Cruise, and Jennifer Aniston are known for their time in the spotlight. But all three also have dyslexia. Coming up, we are debunking some myths of that condition.
There's those flashing lights. We didn't see anything earlier, and they just popped up on the screen at Loop 1604 Northwest Military. Stephen Cavazos just walked into the studio. He's going to update us on that incident when we come back.
Live from Ksat 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
I didn't know anything about Cody's history. If I would have known all this, I would have had a police officer right away.
San Antonio woman attacked in her own home, what she's learning now about her attacker, and why she wants to move even though the suspect is in jail.
And midterm election campaigns are heating up across the country. Who's in the lead so far and what could change if specific candidates get elected?
Really feels like fall out there this morning, 59 degrees at 5:01. You're going to want to put on a light sweater, at least for this morning. Mike has our forecast in just a bit. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is October 18th.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had a good Monday. I know it turned out beautiful after all the rain we had yesterday.
Yeah, I was able to take a nice rain nap in the afternoon. And when I woke up, the sun was out and it was cool outside, Mike. It was beautiful.
Yeah, we did pop up. We got a lot more sunshine, so we did get up into the low 70s yesterday afternoon. It was absolutely fantastic because that dry air continued to move on in here, and that's why it was so comfortable then and so nice now. 59 degrees out there at the airport. Look at that bottom number. 34 for a dew point, sort of the measure of moisture in the atmosphere. At this time yesterday, it was about 30 degrees higher, so that much drier air out there. It's going to be comfortable. It's going to be nice. We'll make it up to 68 later on this afternoon. And as far as the aquifer, did go down 1/10 of a foot. There wasn't a heck of a lot of rain in parts of the recharge zone yesterday, a little bit, but obviously the updated count is going to be coming out later on this morning. Mold's on the high side and ragweed is low. Now, we do still have a couple of showers left over around the area, especially down to the south, and those are going to continue on throughout the rest of the morning. We've still got that disturbance sliding across here, but we do have also one or two little showers just right there in portions of the hill country. Not a heck of a lot. As a matter of fact, those are continuing to sort of fizzle on out. You may get a little sprinkle right there around 10 in toward Bernie, but further down to the south in Atascosa County, a couple of leftover little showers, even a few heavier downpours, and especially down here around Carrizo Springs and in southern Maverick County, south of Eagle Pass. Some beautiful rain. It's moving along at a nice clip, so it's not just sitting still in one spot, falling all at once. So those all will continue to work their way pretty much straight west to east, and so all that rain will be staying south of San Antonio. If there is a little bit of a sprinkle around here, wouldn't be surprised, but again, everything primarily down to the south. Mold's on the high side, and as I mentioned, ragweed is low, mostly cloudy, chilly, a couple of those showers hanging around here, and then later on this afternoon, a lot more sunshine. We will continue to clear out, upper 60s for a high temperature. Midweek, cold mornings, 40s here in town. Then great afternoons. Then the weekend, the humidity comes back. It will be on the hot side, up in the mid 80s. A lot of areas, but there's another front, another rain chance next week. More on that in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Cavazos. Good morning, sir. Anything going on?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, we do have these flashing lights there at 1604 Northwest Military. Sarah pointed this out as we went to commercial break. If you were with us yesterday, you noticed that that was actually the same location where we had a pretty serious crash that lasted for quite a while. These are not the type of lights that we saw yesterday, though. This is actually road work that is taking place that began overnight around 9 in the evening, according to TxDOT. We're going to see that work continue at least until 6 p.m. tonight. So do expect that if you travel through Loop 1604 at Northwest Military, it's likely you already are familiar with a lot of the road work that takes place there. Still pretty dark out there, although we see those flashing lights. So just make sure to take it easy as you get the day started. Let's go ahead and get you to the map, because if I can get my clicker to work here, there you can go. We are not seeing any slowdowns just yet, but of course, as always, we will talk about some of those active road closures as the show does go on. Right now, no delays, though, if you're going to be traveling into the Alamo City. That journey from Birdie right now looks to be about 24 minutes at this point. 281 southbound, if you're heading in from Bulverde, we're a little bit in the yellow there. We're 27 minutes, but that's pretty normal. We know that there is also work taking place up there. And right now, it's not too awful. I-35 southbound, if you're traveling in from New Braunfels, 25 minutes is what you can expect for that drive time. But let's get it back to TransGuide and put that camera on rotation. Before we jump over to the anchors here, you can see that elsewhere around town, 35 at Space Center, things are very quiet. But as I mentioned, we'll talk about those road closures. If you're still at home, make sure you have your phones handy. Steph, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. A San Antonio woman attacked in her own home, and now she wants to move. Police say 29-year-old Cody James Sweetman shot Anna de la Cruz and tied up her son after her daughter dumped him and then went into hiding. De la Cruz now says she wants out because she's afraid her attacker will come back. Sweetman was living with the family, but they asked him to move out because her daughter said he was abusive. Sweetman agreed, but ended up pulling a gun and shooting her in the stomach and hand.
Just the person who I thought he was, I was liking the guy. I was liking him for my daughter. I didn't know anything about Cody's history. If I would have known all this, I would have had a police officer.
De la Cruz says San Antonio police told her Sweetman has a criminal history. He was charged for soliciting murder in Oklahoma in 2012. According to multiple news outlets in Oklahoma, the murder for hire involved Sweetman's ex at the time. Right now, he is being held at the Bexar County Jail on a $100,000 bond.
And it took a jury 3.5 hours to convict a man and his stepson for murder. The trial of 61-year-old Williams Blankenship and 25-year-old Lane Wooten began last Wednesday. Now, the punishment phase of this trial is expected to continue today. The two men are facing a sentence anywhere between 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Yesterday, a jury found them both guilty of the murder of Josh Fowler. Witnesses say Wooten and Fowler were fighting outside a home in southeast Bexar County, and Blankenship and his wife were standing by with a gun. Those witnesses heard gunshots from 2 different weapons. The victim later died at a hospital.
Andre McDonald, who's accused of killing his wife Andreen McDonald in 2019, will go to trial on January 17th. The 399th District Court Judge Frank Castro is overseeing the case. McDonald's attorney argued the case has been delayed long enough.
It's way too much delay. We made a motion to dismiss the case for not giving him a speedy trial.
Well, Judge Castro said no to that. The state says it needs time to gather some of the witnesses who aren't in Texas. When this case does go to trial, it's expected to last about 3 weeks. If McDonald is convicted, he faces up to life in prison. 3 weeks from today is Election Day, with control of Congress up for grabs, and things are getting nasty on the campaign trail.
As ABC's Justin Finch reports, 2 debates were held last night in 2 of the closest watched campaigns.
I think I struck a nerve with this guy.
You absolutely struck a nerve. This is a complete fabrication. I never
JD, you're
said
on
that,
tape, brother. You're on tape, man.
I never said that.
Democrat Tim Ryan locked in a tight race against Trump-backed Republican candidate J.D. Vance. The latest polls show Vance with a slight lead. And last night, in their final debate, Ryan accused Vance of pushing racist beliefs.
This is who he's running around with, talking about replacement theory. There's no big grand conspiracy. This is a country who's been enriched by immigrants from all quarters of the world. There's no, in the problem.
It's shameful for you to accuse me of that, given my family.
The danger.
It's shameful for you to accuse me of that.
My turn, pal. My turn.
Vance calling that claim slanderous.
You are so desperate that you'll accuse me, the father of 3 beautiful biracial babies, of engaging in racism. We are sick of it.
And last night in Georgia, where early voting has already begun, Governor Brian Kemp faced his Democratic rival Stacey Abrams.
Well, I know Miss Abrams is upset and mad.
The candidate sparring over crime and abortion.
He has weakened gun laws and flooded our streets. He has weakened our privacy rights and women's rights. He has denied women the access to reproductive care.
Abrams came within 55,000 votes of beating Kemp in the last election. Kemp has signed a ban on abortions after 6 weeks and repeatedly blamed Democrats for the nation's economic problems.
My desire is to continue to help them fight through 40-year high inflation and high gas prices.
Meanwhile, in the Georgia Senate race, Republican Herschel Walker is now acknowledging that he did give a $700 check to his ex-girlfriend.
Let me see. It could be. Yes, that's my check.
But Walker denies knowing that the check was used to pay for an abortion.
I have no idea what that can be for.
Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
And time now 5:10 and 59 degrees for now.
Meta is targeting Apple in a new advertising campaign. Why the company is specifically taking on iMessage.
And neighbors are hoping a new police substation will help cut down on crime along the St. Mary's Strip.
That presence of that building being there will wake up the people going to the Strip.
We're going to tell you how soon the new facility could have officers patrolling the area.
59 degrees at 5:10 this morning. Not even a light sweater, like a real sweater for the morning hours, because we're having these nice cool temps. How long will this real fall-like temperatures, well, how long will they stick around for? Mike will let us know when we come back. Welcome back. Some neighbors are holding on to hope when it comes to some of the struggles along the St. Mary's Strip.
They have complained about trash, lewd acts, and criminal activity once a nearby bar shut down. Now crews will break ground on a new police substation in December. So it is part of a voter-approved bond project. Community members saw the final renderings of the building that will be located at North St. Mary's and Myrtle. Neighbors hope this will encourage bargoers to behave.
That presence of that building being there will wake up the people going to the Strip.
I think that having police substation in the neighborhood makes people to feel safer and comfortable. And I think that's the reason we are building one here, and we have one for District 3 in next few years.
The facility plans to house between 8 to 12 officers per shift starting January of 2024. That facility will also have generators and community meeting rooms.
It's 5:15 at 59 degrees.
And coming up next, find out why TikTok is raising the age requirement for hosting certain kinds of live streams.
Netflix trying to hold on to its subscribers, how its new profile transfer feature is making it easier to manage the favorite parts of your account.
And tonight's winning numbers are 18, 55, 39, 71, and 43.
43?
Those numbers again.
We won! Yes!
Celebrating with his wife, a man spills his drink, which moves towards their winning lottery ticket in slow motion. Bounty comes to the rescue.
Quick! The Quicker Picker-Upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
His wife takes the tip. I'll hold on to that.
Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
Dude, you coming?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Power Max Gels Cold and Flu Relief with more concentrated power. Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop plop fizz fizz Winter Warriors with Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
All right, time check is almost 5:19, and if you're like me and need a cup of coffee and have to head out in the next few minutes, Well, you're in luck. Thankfully, no delays just yet. 35 at Benz Engelman. You could see there, really just a lot of quiet roadways, and that is a great way to start this perfect morning. As you can see, I-10 at W.W. White near the city's east side. Really a strange shot, but we were seeing just a few cars in that particular area of town, as well as I-10 at Callahan. Just remember to drive safe. We had some road work taking place off of Loop 1604 in Northwest Military. Looks like a part of that has already wrapped up, but don't forget that work's going to continue as we get on through the day. But we take you to the map, nothing to talk about. We were pretty busy yesterday, had a few crashes in and around the Alamo City. Thankfully, we're not seeing a lot of that at this point. But be on the lookout, as we mentioned, road closures. This is going to be taking place here off of I-10 over on the east side of Bexar County. You know what it is. It's that bridge work, and we're going to see a portion of that work continue at least up until Thursday, October 21st. I have to make sure that that is the right date, but we want to make sure that you are prepared ahead of time. This will begin at 9 in the evening and should wrap around 5 in the morning, and that should say Friday, October 21st. Pardon me. Full closure of the eastbound main lanes from FM 1518 to FM 2538. But if you would like to know what you can expect for your commute, grab those phones right now and open your camera app. Tap the center of your screen, and that will take you to our Ksat traffic page. I just updated the list of traffic closures yesterday, but didn't have a chance to get to that because we were so busy. But today, if you want to know what to expect out on the roadways, just make sure to plan your commute ahead of time. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, looks a little better out there.
Oh, a lot better.
Yeah.
So, Mike, earlier you said it even smells different outside, like fall. I said fall smells like roasted corn. What do you think fall smells like?
Well, when I was growing up, now this was up north, it was the leaves on the ground.
Yeah.
All the, the maple leaves and the oak leaves and everything like that, which obviously we don't have a whole lot down here. But yeah, it's just.
Or pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice is the unofficial fall smell.
Put it this way, it doesn't smell human.
Yes, we'll take it.
The humidity has dropped down considerably in the past, about 24 hours compared to this time yesterday. We had a whole bunch of humidity. Take a look at that picture, and that was one of those storm clouds left over. Things started to clear out here in town late in the afternoon. We did get some sunshine. That did get us up to 73 degrees in the afternoon, but yeah, some folks still got some rain down to the south, and there is still a little bit of rain down to the south. Mr. McClellan, thank you very much for that KSAT Connect picture. It's a good-looking morning. We do still have some clouds hanging around here, though, and there's the rain down to the south of us, Carrizo Springs, even a couple of heavier downpours, still a few lightning strikes, just one or two of them kind of thrown on in there. And then around Pearsall, we've got some rain as well. And then in portions of Atascosa County, these are very, very light showers. Further on up to the north there, well, it looks like that has all but kind of fizzled on out right there. Maybe there left over a little sprinkle there in Bernie. Let's see. Perhaps a couple little sprinkles, but again, the majority of all that rain is going to be staying down to the south, which is what most computer models are indicating. Again, if there's a leftover little sprinkle further up to the north, don't be surprised by it, but don't count on it. Just that down there, and then we begin to clear on out late morning and going into the afternoon hours. Plenty of sunshine around here, and a lot of sunshine the next couple of days as well. So there's the taking into account the rain down to the south. Temperatures will continue to drop down. Now, we do have a little bit of a cloud cover on us, so it's not perfect radiational cooling situation. That's going to be the situation tomorrow, Thursday morning especially, but I do think we continue to drop down a little bit, and then more sunshine later on today. We make it into the upper 60s around here. Now, it's going to stay, we get an extra shot of dry air coming on in here. Notice how I have the weekend kind of covered up right now, because this is what the humidity is going to do. It is definitely going to be shooting back up as we go on into the weekend, but that then is setting the stage for another shot at some rain by the first part of next week, and another front that's going to move on through here. So at least even looking way, way down the road, there's a couple of, 2-3 fronts every once in a while to scour out the humidity. So that's a good fall type weather pattern that we're in. 62 today at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature makes it up to 68, a lot more sunshine. We've got some of that rain around here this morning, and then tomorrow 45 degrees. It's going to be nice. 74 then in the afternoon. So we get a 30-degree swing in temperatures. Good indication of really dry air. Clear skies, light wind. Again, perfect radiational cooling. Down in the 40s again Thursday morning. And then look at the difference. 45 tomorrow. It's mid-60s for low temperatures over the weekend. So more humidity, mid-80s for highs. And then that next front moves through later on Monday. We'll have a couple of showers around here on Monday.
Okay, well, no, there's like cloud cover over the weekend a little bit there.
Yeah, we'll just see some more clouds hanging around here. And the next, few on Saturday, more moving in Sunday with the next chance of rain coming in here Monday. So
85 is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's doable.
But it's a humid 85.
We'll
We've had much worse, Mike.
True. Okay, I'll give you that. So.
All right. Thank you, Mike. It is 5:24 and
59.
Thank you, Mike.
59 degrees, but that's a good temperature in there. Here are your winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 6, 8, 7, Fireball 0, Daily 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 3, 4, 7, 15, 17. Texas 2-step 4, 8, 11, 16, 16. And Powerball 19, 30, 36, 46, 60. Powerball 25. Power Play 3.
In today's Tech Bites, Meta is taking aim at Apple's iMessage. Mark Zuckerberg posted an ad that says his company's WhatsApp is far more private than iMessage. It points out end-to-end encryption that works with both iPhones and Androids, as well as an option to auto-delete messages. TikTok is changing some of its live streaming rules. Beginning November 23rd, only users 18 and up can host a live stream. Currently, hosts need to be over 16 and have 1,000 followers. And hosts will soon be able to target adults only for streams meant for older audiences. And Netflix has a new feature to allow you to migrate information to a new account. Profile transfer permits users to move personalized recommendations, viewing history, and other settings. It helps friends who may have been sharing an account to separate their information. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
All right, it's 5:28 and 59 degrees.
Student loan relief could be coming to millions of Americans, but not everyone is happy about it. What both sides are saying about the benefits and the pitfalls.
Plus, how Toys R Us is reviving itself in a unique way ahead of the holiday shopping season.
And still to come on GMSA at 6, a bakery in California is making headlines after a giant Star Wars statue made from bread goes viral. Don't miss this story behind Han Solo.
Well, more than 40 million Americans could see student loan relief, but could that extra spending increase inflation? Why some are saying no, while others are saying yes.
And a quick look outside with live cam. We're starting your day at 59 degrees. How nice and how cool it is out there.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is October 18th. Is that right?
It is. And you know why I know that? Okay, we shouldn't advertise, but those McDonald's pills.
Oh, is it coming out today?
It's today, October 18th.
Okay, you just saying that, I could smell it. I could smell those, like the French fries.
Yes.
Like even 30 years later, it still smells the same. I don't know how.
Wait, are you smelling 30-year-old French fries?
No, it's just like that smell. It just like sticks to that plastic in there.
To the Happy Meal smell.
Okay. Even after you put the Halloween candy in it, it still smells like French fries.
It does, no matter how many times you wash it, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Mike.
A lot of nostalgia over here.
But McDonald's French fries are great, so.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
Wonderful.
Although a sausage McMuffin with egg and hash browns this morning would be really good.
Well, they serve that with a pail.
Not me. Who's going? That's what my boys do. Yeah, so, okay. Anyway, we do have a couple of clouds hanging around here as of right now, and it's acting like a bit of a blanket, but we will still continue to cool down. We've got bone dry air out there, 34. You're really going to notice it when you step outside. Grab a jacket, by the way. And winds, light breeze, light to moderate out of the northeast primarily, but it is going to be somewhat breezy throughout the day. The rain that was up here, the little shower, is now pretty much gone. We do have a couple of showers, though, down to the south here in southern Atascosa County. Everything is sliding off to the east, and even a few, a decent downpour right there around Pearsall. Keep going further off to the west and to the southwest, and we've got even more rain down there in southern Dimmitt County, heading over toward Cotulla, as well as coming into southern Maverick County. So a couple of more decent showers. Everything's moving along at a good clip, so it's not just sitting in one spot. Just be thankful for all that rain. But again, all of this is going to be staying well down to the south throughout the course of the morning. A lot of mold out there. Ragweed is on the low side. The updated count's going to be coming out in about a couple of hours. 62 today at noon. We've got a lot of clouds this morning, and then we'll gradually continue to clear on out as the day rolls on. 68 for a high temperature. A lot more sunshine today. Again, a breeze out there out of the northeast, and then clear skies tonight. And the wind's going to be settling down tonight. Clear skies and very dry air. Wait till you see the temperatures tomorrow as well as Thursday morning. Yes, definitely just plain old cold. Love it. And then nice big warm-ups. Will that last through the weekend? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, what's going on, Stephen?
Hey, not a whole lot over here, Mike. Thankfully, it has been a quiet start to this Tuesday morning as we get the morning rolling. Let's get a quick look around town because 410 and Marbach, you can see it's a very dark, very quiet 281 at the airport if you have to head out there in the next few minutes. Thankfully, no delays out there, but US 90 Couples, it's a pretty busy spot, and we usually see traffic pick up around this time. But other areas like 281, it's just been quiet all morning long, and we're thankful for that because yesterday was such a busy day. We're taking you to the map, and as I mentioned, what we will continue to talk about are those active road closures. A few of them have already cleared out. TxDOT crews are able to get the work done, but be on the lookout. We're going to continue to talk about what else you can expect in and, of course, around the Alamo City as we do get the day rolling here. But if you have to roll on into San Antonio this early in the morning, thankfully, no delays. 29 minutes. Still pretty green from Seguin on I-10 westbound. A little more than half an hour. That's the usual drive time on 87 northbound if you're traveling in from Lavernia. And for our friends down in Floresville, 28 minutes is what you can expect at this hour at 5:35 if you plan to head out in the next few minutes. But let's go ahead and get one last look around town. There's 10 at Hildebrand. It's getting a little bit busier out over there, but it's been quiet so far. So again, we will talk about some of those road closures to expect. But as always, keep your eyes on the road as you get the day going. Steph, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. A local teen remains on life support this morning following a series of surgeries. Eric Cantu had to undergo surgeries after he was shot by a San Antonio police officer who was then fired. So Cantu's attorney said bullets tore through the 17-year-old's stomach, liver, diaphragm, lungs, and arms. 2 weeks ago, former police officer James Brennan was seen shooting at Cantu in the McDonald's parking lot. Brennan was fired from the police force and is now facing charges. And if you have federal student loans, you might be eligible for thousands of dollars in relief. That's under a newly launched program from the Biden administration.
And as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, if you don't have those loans, you might have to pick up the tab for those who do.
If you earn less than $125,000 a year, you'll get up to $10,000 knocked off your student debt.
People with federal student loans who meet that condition now can apply for that cancellation at studentaid.gov. Borrowers with Pell Grants who meet the income requirements can get double the relief. The White House says beta testers reported the website was user-friendly.
One said it was the easiest application they've ever filled out. Took maybe 60 seconds.
The Department of Education could request more information from some applicants later. President Joe Biden says more than 40 million Americans could see this student loan relief. But could that extra spending power increase inflation? Some Democrats say no.
There have been a lot of studies around this, and what they've shown is that it's not going to have an impact on inflation.
But the nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says yes. It estimates Biden's student debt policies altogether could boost inflation between 6.25 points over the next year. That would mean higher prices and likely higher interest rates. Another drawback of Biden's loan initiatives is that taxpayers foot the bill.
It's very unfair, to have a truck driver have to pay back a loan from somebody that got like a PhD in gender studies.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, life expectancy in the U.S. is still taking a hit after the pandemic. That's according to new research published in the journal Nature Human Behavior. Researchers found life expectancy in 2021 was still lower than expected in 29 countries, including the U.S. But while other countries saw some bounce back from 2020 losses, the U.S. actually saw its average numbers of years a person can expect to live further decline. Life expectancy at birth dropped every year for the U.S. between 2019 and 2021 from 79.8% to 77.4%. The U.S. had the third largest decline despite it being a country with widely accessible vaccines.
Elon Musk is reversing his demand for the Pentagon to pay for Starlink internet service in Ukraine. The SpaceX founder tweeted that he has withdrawn the funding request he sent the military last month. That request asked for the Department of Defense to pay $124 million to keep thousands of Starlink terminals active. Ukraine's military depends heavily on those donated devices to communicate. The tweet comes after sources say the Pentagon already agreed to pay for ongoing service in Ukraine. The topic also went to the European Union's Foreign Affairs Council. Over the weekend, Lithuania's foreign minister suggested figuring out how to fund Starlink or finding another supplier.
It's 5:38 and 58 degrees.
And American Airlines could owe you some money. How much the airline is having to pay over bogus baggage fees and if you qualify.
All right, we dropped down to 58 degrees. Love to see it. Stephanie said those McDonald's pails are coming out today because it's spooky season and the weather is feeling like it. Mike will have our forecast when we come back.
And welcome back. It's 5:41 in your morning consumer headlines. American Airlines has agreed to pay millions of dollars to settle a lawsuit over bogus baggage fees. The settlement was revealed in court documents filed here in Texas. The documents state American has agreed to pay at least $7 million to those who accused it of requiring some passengers to pay checked baggage fees, even when they were promised free checked bags. The fees were charged between 2013 and 2021 to some credit card holders and frequent or first-class flyers. As part of the settlement, American will provide full refunds to those who paid the improperly charged fees, but they must file valid claims in a timely manner. Those who are already a part of the class action lawsuit will be notified of the settlement and how to submit those claims.
Well, if you don't want to grow up because you're a Toys R Us kid, you can now do so at Macy's. Troubled retailer Toys R Us has opened up several pop-up stores within Macy's locations for the holiday shopping season. It comes after Macy's inked a deal with WHP Global, which is the investment firm that now owns the Toys R Us brand. So the toy stores are only in select Macy's locations like Atlanta, New York, LA, San Francisco, and Chicago, but some of them are 10,000 square feet, a little proof that you don't have to grow up.
And just weeks after Hurricane Ian destroyed the Fort Myers area of Florida, the life of someone there could be about to change forever in a very good way. So a lottery ticket that sold at a Fort Myers 7-Eleven matched all 6 numbers in Friday's Mega Millions drawing, and the ticket is worth nearly $500 million. Now, according to Mega Millions, the jackpot was the 11th largest in the game's history, worth at least $494 million. The jackpot will likely be shared since another winning ticket for the same drawing was sold in California.
I mean, if anyone was going to win that, how deserving people in the Fort Myers. I hope it really goes to good use and they're able to share it too.
Share it. That's what I was thinking too. That would be good.
All right, it's 5:43 and 58 degrees.
Let's take a look at the roads with TransGuide. Looking there at I-10 at the Y. Things are moving at this hour, but we will be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos after the break. Welcome back. It's 5:46 and the roads are still looking good out there.
Yeah, Stephen, anything popping up over there?
Nope. It's been quiet. It's been nice. I mean, hell, hey.
Hey, we're popping up.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
All right, there he is.
Hi.
Love
Good
to see
morning.
him.
Yes, well, it's good to be here, and you know what? I don't really have a lot to talk about, so you could have just stayed on Steph and Sarah, but we got to get to the roadways anyways. 10 at WW White. It's just getting busier out there. That's fine. There's really not going to be any delays that we're seeing at this point, but we know we're getting closer to 6 a.m., so we will see that change in the next hour or so. But right now is a perfect time to get your morning started. You may find a delay at the coffee line, but just remember, pack that patience with that cup of coffee. We talked about road closures. We're going to continue to see some of the work take place, especially over here off Loop 410, over on the northeast side of San Antonio. I want to leave this graphic up for a little bit because it did have a lot of information out there, but this will start tomorrow night and continue at least up until Friday, October 21st. It begins at 9 in the evening and ends at 5 in the morning, and what we will see is utility work. Keep in mind, right shoulder closure on Loop 410 eastbound, but what you'll also see is main lane and alternating lane closure on Loop 410 eastbound frontage road. But as I always like to say, that information is on our website, ksat.com/traffic. Just scroll to the bottom of the page. You'll find a full list of closures there, and that'll take us to the end of October. But as we get one last look here at traffic, things are just moving nice and calm. It's very nice.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, we like that. And we cannot wait to see this picture. Very appropriate for Halloween.
Take it full screen because this is... so many captions with this picture. It's like, why is this guy? Oh, wait, hi. First of all, there. Now,
hi.
Take this picture full. We got to go through the whole series there. And look at that little guy. I don't know if he's kind of coming into his own because he's on that scary little hand there, if he is afraid of it or just, acting tough. Tough guy. But that's an adorable picture. Look at how cute that thing is. Love it. Hey, scan the QR code. Send in some of those Ksat Connect pictures of your little pets if they're dressed up for Halloween, or just some real pretty pictures. But that's a great shot. Thank you very much for that. All right, got some clouds hanging around here this morning. That's acting like a bit of a blanket on top of us. And so we will still cool down a few more degrees, but not as much as if we didn't have any clouds. That will be the situation tomorrow morning as well as Thursday morning. Down in the low 50s in the hill country, 59 in town, 61 Port SA. 59 New Braunfels. This is the story, though. Dew point temperatures, they have dropped down dramatically compared to this time yesterday. As a matter of fact, down a good 25, 30 degrees compared to what it was at this time yesterday. So we've got some pretty good showers here in our southwestern counties that have moved through Carrizo Springs in toward Cotulla. Further on down to the south, there have been a couple of lightning strikes associated with this, but not a heck of a lot of that. And then a little bit further up to the north, right around Pearsall, you're seeing a few of these showers over toward Pleasanton. Everything is moving straight west to east, and then up a little bit further to the north. We did have a sprinkly shower out there in parts of the hill country, but pretty much just all fizzled on out. So if there is one or two little sprinkles here in town, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't count on it, though. But further south, you go down 35, down 37 this morning, you will run into a few of those showers. And that's what computer models indicating, that some of that will hang around throughout the mid-morning hours. And then we begin to clear on out. That continues to push on down to the south, and we'll have more sunshine later on today. And it's just going to be an absolutely spectacular day, as will tomorrow, as will Thursday, Friday. Here's the clouds hanging around here this morning. Those couple of showers at 20% chance down there. Temperatures, like I said, we will continue to drop down a few more degrees into the mid to low 50s here in town, and then more sunshine and make it up through the 60s and top off at 68 later on today. Breezy, not as windy as yesterday, but still kind of breezy out there. Here's a longer range computer model. First of all, it does show some of these showers down here to the south. Then we get into tomorrow, beautiful. We get into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, a couple of extra clouds around here. A lot more in the way of clouds on Sunday. And this particular computer model wants to get showers coming on in here Monday, then into Tuesday along another front. And there's another long range model that's pretty much in agreement with that as well. So at least we're seeing a fallish pattern of front every once in a while. Yesterday and then about a week later. 62 at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature today makes it up to 68, a lot more sunshine. Next few days are just going to be prize winners. Cold mornings, beautiful afternoons. Yeah, jackets in the morning, then you won't need them by the afternoon. More humidity over the weekend, which good indication with those low temperatures staying in the mid 60s by Sunday morning, Monday morning. More clouds Sunday and chance of rain Monday.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I hope this cool weather kind of sticks around for actual Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Still 2 weeks away, so...
Will the kids get hot in the big, itchy costumes?
It could go either way.
A long range model does show that we would have lower humidity. Now, that's still 2 weeks away, so a lot can change between. That's just an early indication of it. So, but things can change between now and then. So.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers
crossed. Nothing like a sweaty Halloween costume.
I know. As long as you get that McDonald's pail.
We'll be happy.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
All the advertising I'm doing here. Okay. It's 5:52 and 58 degrees.
Dwayne Johnson is back in movie theaters this weekend, and in a role he's been preparing for more than a decade. Coming up next, we're going to hear why The Rock is so excited about this film.
Coming up here on a Tuesday on GMA, we'll have the latest with 3 weeks until the midterms, the crucial races that could tip the balance of power, plus the heated rematch that's getting national attention. And the fall freeze affecting so many of us, more than half the country here. I'm going to be tracking who gets how cold when. And the big new recession fears as the housing market is showing signs of cooling down. We'll tell you what it means if you're looking to buy or to sell. We knew it had to happen, but we'll have details coming up right here on GMA.
I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god. My son sacrificed his life to save me.
Dwayne Johnson powers up in the latest DCEU adventure, Black Adam.
These powers are not a gift.
One of the most intriguing parts about playing Black Adam is we were able to create, and this is a high standard that I'm getting ready to throw out here, we were able to create the Dirty Harry of the superhero genre in Black Adam.
I never said I was a hero.
Clint Eastwood is my all-time favorite actor, and we were able to, we pay homage in Black Adam a little bit to Clint Eastwood.
We're the Justice Society.
Johnson's character is among several heroes new to the big screen.
These guys have a great deal of history being brothers in arms on the battlefield and also just at home, trying to, as you can see, Dr. Fate is like my true north throughout the film, always guiding me and helping, you know, the Hawkman still in this space be a leader.
For us as the actors, we were a very tight-knit group,
yeah.
You know, and we were all in it together, and it was unspoken.
Yeah.
We had lunches and dinners, and we all came together with kind of ease and grace and respect for each other.
Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
And time now is 5:57 and 58 degrees for now. And still ahead in our next hour of GMSA, a beer company is brewing up something for dogs just in time for the holidays. Plus, celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg, Tom Cruise, and Jennifer Aniston are known for their time in the spotlight, but all three also have dyslexia. Coming up, we're debunking some myths about the condition. And also up next, a local group says San Antonio could soon end punishment for marijuana and abortion. Why they say it could happen next year. A quick look at the roads out there with TransSky. I was looking out there at I-35 now at Loop 1604 at Pat Booker Road. Things are moving this morning. However, we will be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos after the break.
I said, please don't do this. And I'm just trying not to make eye contact because I know it's coming. I know that's going to be the end of my life because he had it in my head.
This morning on GMSA, a San Antonio mother says she's ready to move after being shot in her own home, and that if she would have learned before about her attacker's dark history.
Plus, San Antonio police are trying to figure out what happened just before a deadly shooting on the east side, what they're saying now about the search for a suspect.
Can you believe it feels like fall? 58 degrees at 6 a.m. Mike is dancing this morning. I think we all are. How long are these real fall-like temperatures going to stick around for? He'll let us know in just a bit. But first, good morning.
Live from Ksat 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
It's October 18th on this beautiful fall-like Tuesday morning.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a nice Monday. I know that weather certainly helped out, starting with rain, and then the sun came out and it was just nice out there.
It was beautiful, and it was nice that we had that rain, Mike.
Yeah. About 2/3 of an inch, just shy of that officially out there at the airport. Some folks picked up a whole lot more than that, especially out to the west. Some folks are still getting some rain down the south and west this morning. So consider yourself very fortunate with that. Don't make things up. I was not dancing. Just being overly enthusiastic.
Okay, whatever you want to call
it. Right now. And yeah, you'll be dancing when you step outside this morning because it is so nice out there. We've got temperatures now at 58 in town, 53 Comfort, 51 in Lost Maples. The cloud cover's acting like a bit of a blanket, but we'll still drop down a few more degrees before it's all said and done. And boy, bone dry air. You're really going to notice this when you step outside. That front move through. Of course, at this time yesterday, these numbers, the dew points, sort of the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, how we figure out relative humidity, they were about 30 degrees higher, right around the low 60s. Here's some of the leftover rain down to the south. We had a couple of sprinkles in the hill country earlier, but that little spot, watch as it goes back in there, it just kind of disappears. If there's a leftover sprinkle out there, okay, don't be surprised by it. But obviously we've got some decent rain down to the south there from Atascosa County over toward Pearsall, and then a lot more further off to the south and west. But that's all going to be staying there down to the south in our southern county. So consider yourself fortunate as far as getting some of that beautiful rain. Molds on the high side. The updated pollen count is going to be coming out in just about an hour and a half or so. 53 this morning, so I think we continue to drop down a few more degrees, and wind is going to be, there's a bit of a breeze right now, and it is going to be picking up later on today, northeast 15-20 miles per hour. We will continue to see the clouds break up throughout the rest of the morning, make it up to 62 at noon, and then top off later on today with a high up to 68. More sunshine thrown in. wait till you see the numbers coming up for tomorrow as well as Thursday mornings. It's going to be downright cold. Does it last through the weekend? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like yesterday, does it?
No, not at all, Mike. In fact, I would dance over here in my traffic corner, but yeah, don't do that behind the wheel because that's not safe. Let's get you a look around town. 281 there by the airport. It's pretty much been a copy and paste type of situation. And by that, I mean, really, things look pretty much the same everywhere we've been showing you. But we are seeing just a few more vehicles get out there. 10 at UTSA Boulevard, 281 at Tacoma. The morning's off to a pretty great start to match these fantastic fall-like weathers. But just remember to drive safely out there. There were a few issues yesterday that obviously caused some big delays for drivers. But today, lots of green on the screen is what you can expect if you plan to head out at 6:04. So that's right now, but obviously that's going to change a little bit later. However, travel times look like they're in pretty good shape because I would say it's still pretty pleasant on I-37 northbound. If you're traveling in from Pleasanton, 28 minutes is what you can expect. Highway 90 looks to be about half an hour coming in those eastbound lanes from Castroville. And that arrival from Lytle on I-35 northbound is 17 minutes at 6:04. So take advantage of these quiet roadways if you can, but always be kind to your fellow drivers. Getting one last look at TransGuide 35 at Cesar Chavez. The morning is moving. Steph, Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio police say a 24-year-old man is dead after he was shot on the east side. Officers were called to an apartment complex around 6 Monday evening in the 1000 block of Locke Street near I-35 for reports of a shooting. Police say the man was shot at least once and died at the scene. This time, police are not saying anything about the shooters. Investigators are also interviewing the victim's family to get more information.
San Antonio woman tells Ksat she wants to move after being attacked in her own home. Police say this man on your screen, 29-year-old Cody James Sweetman, shot Anna de la Cruz and tied up her son after her daughter dumped him and went into hiding. De la Cruz says now she wants to move out because she's afraid her attacker will come back. Sweetman was living with the family, but they asked him to move out because her daughter said he was abusive. Sweetman agreed, but ended up pulling out a gun and shooting her in the stomach and hand.
Just the person who I thought he was, I was liking the guy. I was liking him for my daughter. I didn't know anything about Cody's history. If I would have known all this, I would have had a police officer right away.
Well, De La Cruz says San Antonio police told her Sweetman has a criminal history, one that she didn't know about. He was charged for soliciting murder in Oklahoma in 2012. According to multiple news outlets in Oklahoma, the murder for hire involved Sweetman's ex at the time. Right now, he's behind bars at the Bexar County Jail on a $100,000 bond.
And looking ahead, the punishment phase of a murder trial is expected to continue today. It took a jury 3.5 hours to find 61-year-old Williams Blankenship and 25-year-old Lane Wooten convicted for murder. Now, the two men are facing a sentence anywhere between 5 to 99 years or life in prison. On Monday, a jury found them both guilty of the murder of Josh Fowler. Now, witnesses say Wooten and Fowler were fighting outside a home in southeast Bexar County, and Blankenship and his wife were standing by with a gun. Those witnesses heard gunshots from two different weapons. Fowler later died at a hospital.
Well, families' 5-year-long wait for justice is coming to an end. There is now a plea agreement in the death of 13-year-old Emily Zoltzman, and sentencing is scheduled for Thursday. Paul Sechting hit the back of the car Zoltzman was riding in back in 2017. She would later die from those injuries. A witness told police Sechting appeared to be driving while looking down at his phone. The case against him was delayed 15 times and he was set to go on trial today. Instead, the 27-year-old pled guilty to manslaughter in exchange for his plea. His guilty plea, prosecutors are expected to recommend 10 years probation. Records obtained by Ksat Investigate show part of that probation could be served in jail, and he could still pay restitution to Zoltzman's mother and grandfather.
Also looking ahead, there will soon be a free way to get a high school equivalency in Bexar County. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office will be offering high school equivalency classes at its offices. The sheriff says it hopes a partnership will also help his staff.
Is a thorn in many people's sides as they're out looking for gainful employment. That's something that many folks are either ashamed of, or it's just a constant stressor in their mind that, gosh, I really got to get back and get that high school equivalency. Or we're making it easy, bringing it here into the community. And obviously our hope is that we can then open up and use these folks as another stream of potential applicants that we may later on process for hire.
And the classes will be free. You can find more information on the SAISD website.
Well, happening today, you've seen it on Stranger Things. A so-called satanic panic hysteria spread across the U.S. in the 80s and early 90s. People all over the country getting arrested and convicted of crimes against children.
However, it turned out to be false. In today's South Texas Crime Stories, looking into that hysteria, that got 5 people wrongfully convicted here in San Antonio.
So hosts Erica Hernandez and Lee Waldman are diving into these cases with new information that you might have missed at the time.
Part 1 drops this morning, so you can tune into South Texas Crime Stories on Apple Podcast or Spotify Podcast, and don't forget to subscribe.
6:09 and 58 degrees.
And still to come on GMSA, a bakery in California making headlines after a giant Star Wars statue made from bread goes viral. Don't miss the story behind Han Solo.
And after the break, a local group says San Antonio could soon end punishment for marijuana and abortion. Why they say it could happen next year.
And taking a look outside with live cam, rise and shine. It's 58 degrees, and don't forget your sweater today. It's going to be a cool morning. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 6:13 as we inch closer to Election Day. One local group in San Antonio is already looking ahead to San Antonio's May election.
So Act for SA plans to announce its campaign this morning. Their push involves another change in policing focused on decriminalizing marijuana and abortion.
It's called the San Antonio Justice Charter Initiative, and activists are trying to get it on the ballot for the city's May election.
So misdemeanor pot possession is already part of the San Antonio Police Department's cite and release program, but the proposed charter change would forbid SAPD officers from using the smell of pot or hemp as probable cause for a search.
As for the abortion issue, outside of narrow expectations, police would be forbidden from enforcing criminal abortion laws.
We think that there are others better suited for these laws. We know that there's going to be a lot changing, a lot of challenges for these laws.
So the measure needs 20,000 signatures to get on the ballot. Act for SA hopes to gather them by early January.
Time now, 6:14, and I saw flashing lights over at I-35 in Von Army.
Yes, I just spoke with our friends at TransGuide, and we can see those flashing lights right there behind me. But let's get a wider look from what we can see there. What TxDOT has listed this is actually at the 35 southbound of Von Army exit, but we're going to get that pinpointed on the map in a few minutes. But I really want to take a look at this because it is pretty quiet out there. 35 south, if you know this area, it is pretty much an area a lot of people travel through. But this morning, we're really not seeing a lot of traffic at this point, and that's good news because hopefully that means the first responders out there will be able to clear this scene without any big trouble. But as always, we hope everyone's okay, and make sure you give those first responders plenty of room to get this done. Again, this is off I-35 southbound near the Von Army exit. We'll get that on the map in the next few minutes or so. But as we get you right to the map right now, we will show you a lot of those active construction spots, which is obviously leading to some road closures. Here's another one to be on the lookout for, I-10 over on the northwest side of San Antonio. It's a lot of information, but just take that in because it's a portable concrete barrier installation that will begin later this morning and continue all the way until Friday, October 21st. So we will have a few days of this. 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon is when drivers will see alternating westbound frontage road closures. That will be from Days of Alla Road to Camp Bullis. So it's a pretty big area, but we know it's a lot of information. So right now, a great time to grab those phones and open up your camera app and scan that QR code that's popped up on the screen. That will take you to our Ksat traffic page, has a full list of all the closures there, but also our tweets are embedded in that page as well. So any incidents that do pop up on the roadway, like this one off I-35 at Von Army, we'll be sure to notify you about that.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, thank you. I know yesterday we had rain jackets and hoodies. Today, maybe just the hoodie or maybe even a heavier jacket.
I think maybe a light scarf.
A nice sweater.
Oh, I like
light scarf. Anything under 60 degrees, I say go light scarf.
Might as well wear it now.
Keep your neck nice and warm.
That's true.
More fashion tips and at different degrees. She has different clothing to wear. So by tomorrow morning, everybody's going to be grabbing a jacket by tomorrow morning because it's going to be really cold. Pretty chilly out there as of right now. If the kids are waiting at the bus stop, yes, a jacket, perhaps a light scarf, pashmina. How about that?
We'll try that.
Yes, that's what I consider a light scarf. Pashmina.
So, yeah, spell pashmina. Anyway, 53 this morning, so we'll continue to drop down. And we got a couple of showers down to the south. Going to show you that on radar in just a second. Then 68 for a high temperature later on today with more sunshine. We'll keep some clouds around this morning as we have right now. Love this picture. So what do skeletons do when jumping into the pool? A cannonbone.
Oh, how cute.
That slide is out of control.
I know.
I love the skeleton sunbathing there off the side.
And I love the dog with the sunglasses.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Anyway, thank you very much for that. Love that. So, all right, we've got some clouds, like I said, hanging around here right now, and that's helping to act like a bit of a blanket. We've been dropping down fairly steadily over the past couple of hours as far as temperatures, and we'll continue to drop down a few more degrees this morning. 53 Comfort, 57 in Seguin, and nothing is showing up right in the immediate vicinity. We do have some of these showers down to the south right here on Atascosa County, and then heading over in toward Pearsall, Dilley, and everything sliding straight to the east. And then we do have a lot more in the way of some showers further off down to the southwest, right around there, Carrizo Springs, and even around to just to the south of Eagle Pass. And all of this is just going to continue to work its way straight west to east and stay right down there in the southern portion of our viewing area. Nothing around here. So Atascosa County, yeah, you're getting some of that rain, but then places further south from there. Throughout the rest of today, that's taking into account some of the rain. That's a small percentage right there. Temperatures will drop down a few more degrees, and then we'll begin the warm up. We'll still keep a lot of clouds around this morning. They'll begin to kind of break up as we approach noon, 62 degrees at noon, and then we'll see a lot more sunshine mixed in with the clouds later on today. 68 for a high temperature, kind of breezy, 15, 20 mile per hour winds throughout the day. Here's a long range computer model, and this one does show a few of those showers down to the south through the first portion of the day. And then we clear on out. Tomorrow, absolutely gorgeous. Lots of clear skies in the morning. That's going to make for a cold morning. Same thing on Thursday, then beautiful in the afternoon. Friday, good looking day as well. Not as chilly in the morning. Then we get into the weekend. A couple of clouds Saturday, Sunday especially. And then we get more clouds and some rain chances moving in here late Monday into Tuesday along the next front, which is going to be working its way on through here. So humidity increases in toward the weekend, then that's going to be shaved off. Some will be squeezed out in the form of rain, then that gets kind of shaved off and moved on out with that next front. 62 at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature makes it up to 68 today, more sunshine later on. So it's going to be one of those where maybe if you're in the shadows, keep that light little shawl. A shawl, maybe? Yeah. Or just a scarf? What do you think?
The thin material. Yeah, thin material.
So just enough to take that edge off. And then once the sun starts thinking about going down.
Then you're good.
Yeah.
Well, once it starts going down, then it'll cool off again. So pull out the pashmina once again. So.
Or a hoodie.
Or a hoodie. Yeah.
So many options.
Options are endless with fashion. Thank you, Mike. Yes. All right, it's 6:19 and 58 degrees.
And just ahead, a beer company is brewing up something for dogs just in time for the holidays. We're going to take a look at what's in it next.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection. It's one pill once a day that's effective without topical steroids. Many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin, while some saw up to 100% clear skin. Plus, they felt fast itch relief, some as early as 2 days. That's Rinvoq Relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
KSAT 12 presents another Day of the Dead story, Building the Ofrenda.
Ofrenda means offering, and on November 1st, these altars welcome back our loved ones to the world of the living. They're built with many pieces and parts, and each of them has a specific purpose. When honoring your loved one, don't forget the salt. When a spirit makes its journey back to the world of the living, it's believed salt protects their soul from corruption during their stay. Salt also represents the earth, which is one of the Aztecs' 4 elements of nature. It's usually placed in clay vessels or in the shape of a cross on the bottom level beside other elements of purification. When your loved one's visit is over, make sure they're pure for their journey back. So don't forget the salt.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the wife accused of poisoning her husband with drain cleaner appearing in court. The couple fighting over custody of their 2 children after Dr. Emily Yu, was seen in these surveillance images captured on a hidden camera, allegedly pouring the powerful drain cleaner into her husband's lemonade on 3 separate occasions. In a statement, Yu's attorney telling ABC News, Emily absolutely and unequivocally denies ever having attempted to poison her husband or anyone else. She further denies ever abusing her husband or children in any way, shape, or manner.
This is an incredibly intimate way to commit a murder. She had to know what his routine was, what his preferences were.
And we'll tell you what's next in this case, coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Kana Whitworth, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, in your consumer headlines, TikTok is changing some of the live streaming rules. So starting November 23rd, only users 18 and up can host a live stream. So currently hosts need to be 16 and have 1,000 followers. Hosts will soon be able to target adults only for streams meant for older audiences.
And your 4-legged friend can join in Thanksgiving festivities this year. Busch Beer has dropped a limited edition dog brew for the upcoming holiday season. Don't worry though, it's non-alcoholic. The ingredients in this year's drink includes turkey, sweet potato, turmeric, and ginger. 4-packs cost about $15 and can be bought on Busch's website.
Sounds good. All right, a California bakery is blending 2 popular things, bread and Star Wars. Their latest creation is called Han Solo, based on Han Solo's frozen in carbonite in The Empire Strikes Back. It's made entirely out of bread in part of an entry for a contest. So I was reading about this. It's taken them a month to make.
Wow.
But how does the bread... I mean, that bread cannot be fresh. It's got to be like super hard, like.
But the detail,
yeah,
it looks just like it.
I know.
Wow.
Han Solo.
I'm sure they're going to win. You said it's for a contest?
Yes. If they don't win, I mean, come on.
I know. Something's wrong over there.
Right.
Time now, 6:26 and 58 degrees for now.
All right, still ahead at 6:30, an Air Force major accused of killing his wife will go to trial 3 months from now, but his attorney says it's not fast enough.
Plus, celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg, Tom Cruise, and Jennifer Aniston are known for their time in the spotlight, but all 3 also have dyslexia. Coming up, we're debunking some myths about that condition.
Live look out at the roads of TransGuide. Definitely see some flashing lights there. Stephen has talked about this incident at 35 in Von Army. He'll explain when we come back.
The U.S. confirming Ukrainian reports that Russia is now using Iranian-made drones in its deadly airstrikes. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with the U.S.'s warning to other nations found to support Russia's fight.
Taking a look outside with live cam, 58 degrees at 6:30 this morning. Fall is here. You might want to grab a light pashmina, some cozy socks, some booties. It's real fall weather. How long will it stick around for? Michael, let us know in just a bit.
Hi, good morning, and it's Tuesday, October 18th. Thanks for joining us. It's a good idea. You might as well wear all of these things now.
Right, we never get to wear them.
That is very true.
So I'm, time to shine.
Don't you have one at your desk that you can model for us?
Oh, I'm sure I can. I probably do. To go look through my drawer.
Go grab it. So, anyway, so light jacket, sweatshirt is a really good idea this morning. We do have some clouds still hanging around here, so that's preventing us from getting as cool or as chilly as what we could get, but that's going to be a whole different story tomorrow morning as well as on Thursday. Sunrise is not going to be, I don't think, anything too spectacular. 58 right now. That number is about 30 less than what it was at this time yesterday. We still had some humidity hanging around here, but that front that moved on through just blasted the humidity on out of here. Wind is out of the northeast, 9 miles per hour, and it is going to be somewhat breezy later on today. 54 Bernie Stage, 52 Lost Maples, and 61 Stinson, as well as Pleasanton, 60 in Devine. Again, these numbers very low, well below the threshold of 60, and it's going to stay this way and get even drier as time rolls on, and that's what's going to one of the ingredients to help us get really cold the next couple of mornings. So we still have a few showers down there in Atascosa County, just south of Pleasanton, Pearsall, Dilley, Cotulla, and then even more down to the further down to the southwest. All this will be staying in our southern counties. So you're still getting, not any sort of drought breaker, but hey, any rain we will take. So this is beautiful rain down there to the south, and further up to the north, it's just a matter of some of the clouds hanging around here. Mold's on the high side. Updated count's going to come out in probably about an hour or so. Ragweed is low, and we have mostly cloudy, again, chilly, a couple of showers to the south and more sunshine. Will continue to clear on out throughout the day, upper 60s for a high temperature today. Cold mornings. It's going to be really cold, especially in the hill country, obviously, tomorrow and Thursday. Still chilly on Friday. Great afternoons, just beautiful, beautiful fall weather starting really this afternoon and then through the end of the week. But by the weekend, more humidity. And it is going to be somewhat on the hot side. That humidity, though, is preceding the next rain chance and the next front, which will move through here. All those details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. See something going on over there?
Yeah, 35 at Von Ormy. This is actually a scene that we hoped would clear a little while earlier, but unfortunately, more crews have actually arrived out there. This crash was reported near the Von Ormy exit in the southbound lanes of I-35, and you can see that traffic is moving through there without any big trouble, but I would say take it easy because it is still pretty dark out there. Those first responders are out there on the roadway working to clear this up. Unclear how long it will take, but as always, just make sure you give them plenty of room, and we hope everyone is okay out there. Let's just get you to the map because we have that pinpointed again at the Von Ormy exit here off I-35 southbound. No, we're not seeing a delay, so that's some good news in that direction, but just something to be on the lookout for if you are traveling south on I-35, maybe trying to get to Lytle. So just something to keep in mind. Let's give you a bird's eye view of the metro area. Thankfully, everywhere else, it's been a very quiet start. I like to use the word tranquil Tuesday, but we just give you a look. Of course, we'll be talking about some active road closures to be on the lookout for, but of course, also that crash along I-35, and hopefully that will clear before the show wraps. But let's get one last look here in town at 35 at Cesar Chavez. You can see things are moving. Traffic is getting busier in some parts of the Alamo City. We'll be watching these roads closely, and as always, make sure you do the same. Steph, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. An Air Force major accused of killing his wife will go to trial 3 months from now on January 17th. In an exclusive interview with Ksat, Andre McDonald's attorney says it's not fast enough.
It's way too much delay. We made a motion to dismiss the case for not giving him a speedy trial.
Now, the trial was supposed to start last fall. However, prosecutors said they needed more time to look through new evidence. Judge Frank Castro says this would be the final reset for this case. McDonald's wife disappeared back in 2019. Her burned remains were found 6 months later on private property.
Well, topping your morning headlines, parts of Ukraine's capital city are in shambles after the latest rounds of Russian air assaults.
As ABC's Justin Finch reports, U.S. defense officials say Moscow used Iranian-made drones to carry out those deadly air raids in Kyiv, raising concerns about a deepening alliance between Russia and Iran.
After months of relative calm, Ukraine's capital city, Kyiv, is back in the Kremlin's crosshairs, coming under fire again. In his address, Ukraine's President Zelensky reporting the latest Russian air attack killed at least 4 in Kyiv, including a pregnant woman. Zelensky also saying his forces shot down more than 30 Iranian-made Shahed drones Russia used to wage those deadly strikes. The U.S. also noting Russia's pivot from missiles to Iranian drones, calling it cause for global concern.
Russia deepening an alliance with Iran is something the whole world should, especially those in the region and across the world, frankly, should be seen as a profound threat.
And saying U.S. intelligence is finding Russia is deliberately targeting non-military targets and civilian infrastructure to inflict terror. Those attacks leading to dire conditions across Ukraine. This man saying he and his family have no electricity, water, or gas. Crews working to keep utilities online as temperatures drop.
We are going to continue to work with our allies and partners. We will continue to impose costs on Russia, hold them accountable.
The White House says the U.S. will continue to back Ukraine, announcing $725 billion in additional security funding last week. The U.S. believes Iran has likely supplied hundreds of drones to Russia and is warning other nations against supporting Russia, saying the U.S. will not hesitate to use sanctions in response. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Well, meanwhile, if you have federal student loans, you might be eligible for thousands of dollars in relief. StudentAid.gov is now taking debt relief applications from people with federal student loans. To qualify, borrowers must meet certain requirements, but could that extra spending power increase inflation? Some Democrats say no, but the nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says yes. So estimates show the president's student debt policies altogether could boost inflation between 1/6 and 1/4% over the next year. Another drawback is that taxpayers foot the bill. Several lawsuits are challenging the latest student loan forgiveness policy. A U.S. district judge could soon decide whether to block it or not. Election day is 3 weeks from now. Congress is up for grabs and things are getting nasty on the campaign trail.
2 debates were held last night in 2 of the closest watched campaigns, the race for Senate in Ohio and the race for governor in Georgia. The candidates got personal, taking on issues from abortion to immigration. Democrat Tim Ryan is locked in a tight race against Republican candidate J.D. Vance. The latest polls show Vance with a slight lead. And last night in their final debate, Ryan accused Vance of pushing racist beliefs.
This is who he's running around with, talking about replacement theory. There's no big grand conspiracy. This is a country who's been enriched by immigrants from all quarters of the world. There's no, in the problem.
It's shameful for you to accuse me of that, given my family. It's shameful for you to. You are so desperate that you'll accuse me, the father of 3 beautiful biracial babies, of engaging in racism. We are sick of it.
Last night in Georgia, where early voting has already started, the candidates sparred over crime and abortion. Governor Brian Kemp is facing off against Democratic rival Stacey Abrams, who lost by 55,000 votes in the last election. So far, polling shows Kemp is leading in the rematch.
All right, it is 6:38 and 58 degrees.
And still ahead, famous celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg, Tom Cruise, Jennifer Aniston. They have something unique in common. All 3 have dyslexia. After the break, we are debunking some myths about that condition.
All right, Whoopi Goldberg, Tom Cruise, and Jennifer Aniston. What did these 3 celebrities have in common?
Well, they all make millions on the big screen, but they also have dyslexia.
And this morning, we're debunking a few common myths on the condition. Research shows that 1 in 10 people have dyslexia. The learning impairment causes problems with reading, writing, and spelling, but there are misunderstandings of the condition that to a stigma. October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, and it aims to bring more understanding and awareness about it. So we're debunking some of the biggest dyslexia myths.
I think some people have a belief that dyslexia has to do with vision, that they see things upside down or reversed. That is true, but it's not a vision issue. It's the way the brain is wired.
First, it's more than just reading and writing letters backwards. Some kids with dyslexia write letters backwards and some don't. Another question, does dyslexia go away once kids learn to read? The answer is that even with intervention, dyslexia never goes away. Most children with dyslexia are also diagnosed with ADHD. However, there are also some advantages to dyslexia.
They're wonderful storytellers, oral storytellers. They are creative, artistic. Dyslexics make amazing entrepreneurs.
Despite the fact that dyslexia will never really go away, experts say it takes 3 to 4 years of practice to see a difference in most people's condition. All right, it's 6:44 and 58 degrees.
Roads look okay from this angle, but let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
You know, majority of roads don't look too bad, actually. As we get a look around town, 10 at WW White. It's getting busier, though, and that's always expected around this time because we have entered morning rush. Check out 10 at Callahan. We have a lot more people out there now. So there will be things to talk about as the day does get going. But we still have that crash that was reported right there along I-35, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But I do want to bring your attention to the wide look at the map, because slowdowns are what we're going to see at this point. US 90, the usual spot coming in from Castroville right as you approach Loop 1604. Be aware for that stretch of slowdown if you're waking up right now and you have plans to head to the Alamo City, as well as I-35 southbound if you're traveling in from New Braunfels or Live Oak. We will see that also on the northwest side, but this is all expected. Unfortunately, we still have this incident, which could cause some problems for drivers that are heading in the southbound lanes of Von Ormy, 35, near Von Ormy, because we do have that crash that was reported there earlier this morning. And unfortunately, those flashing lights, they're still out there to take you back to TransGuide. Just remember to drive safe if you are going to be traveling through that area. First responders are working to clear this scene up, Mike.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, here we go. It's almost time to skeleton rodeo.
We love it.
Point out, the dog is holding the rope right there.
Yeah.
With the guy. There's the rodeo clown. I love the fish right there as well.
And the new character, that horse off
That
to the
horse,
side.
yeah.
Wow.
And has the fish been around before?
The fish was in the slide.
Yeah, the fish was in the slide.
Okay.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hanging out, by the water.
All these details to take in.
Thank you very much, Skywatcher. Appreciate the pictures. All right, not really seeing too much of perhaps a couple of stars out there, a few breaks in the clouds already, which is nice. We'll see a lot more breaks in the clouds as the morning rolls on. 58 degrees here in town, 55 Bulverde, 60 Divine, as well as Hondo, Uvalde, and low 50s parts of the hill country. Do have some showers left over just down to the south. We had one or two sprinkles up around Bandera County earlier this morning. Those fizzled on out about an hour and a half ago. And we'll continue to see some of these showers, especially further on down to the south right there, and all this is working its way straight off from west to east. So all this will stay well down to the south. Folks, up to the north, you're really not going to be seeing anything, just the clouds. And like I said, the clouds already appear to be breaking up since we're seeing some of those couple of stars out there this morning. So we'll see a little bit of sunshine mixed in as the morning rolls on. Temperatures will bottom out a few more degrees, then come back up into the upper 50s, low 60s by noon, 62 degrees. It is going to be breezy. We'll have wind out of the northeast about 15, 20 miles per hour. Not quite as windy as yesterday, a couple of gusts here and there. Look at the temperatures up to the north. It is definitely good. Down into the teens in Omaha and 20s up northern Mississippi Valley, heading in toward the Great Lakes. And it's that batch of cold air really that's represented by that huge low right there. And this is what's pumping it down. This is what pulled the front on through here, and it's giving us this great fall weather. This remains the case not only throughout the day today, tomorrow, Thursday, and for the most part on Friday. Then as we start to get on into the weekend, notice how we get a little bit more of a kind of a southwesterly flow in the atmosphere. A little more humidity comes back on in here, and we will start to see some more clouds. Another trough, though, develops as the weekend rolls on. This one is going to then pull another front through here. It looks like it's going to be coming through late Monday into Tuesday. Ahead of it, with the extra moisture around, the atmosphere getting kind of churned up, we'll start to see a couple of more showers around here then. I don't even think by Sunday night, probably just Monday, during the day on Monday, and then overnight into Tuesday. Like I said, then that front comes through later on Tuesday, late Monday into Tuesday. 62 at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature makes it up to 68, so we'll be just a little bit below normal. More sunshine out there. And then we're going to start off at 45 tomorrow morning. Nice and chilly, up to 74. Beautiful, 80 on Thursday. After starting off at 48 degrees, notice the low temperatures stay up in the mid 60s over the weekend, so more humidity. Clouds, a few more of them, maybe one or two Saturday, a lot on Sunday, especially late in the day, chance of rain Monday. Like I said, that next front will move through then Monday into Tuesday.
We are looking forward to another front. That is good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after that weekend.
Perhaps another couple even down the road, so it's more of a fall type pattern.
And I know you said it earlier, and it's 2 weeks out.
Right.
2 week forecast is saying maybe be lower humidity.
Yeah, we'll
Halloween.
kind of do the, low humidity comes back up like doing this weekend, upcoming, and then another front comes through. And right now, looking like the same thing, we'll have some lower humidity around here by Halloween.
We hope so.
Still very early, but
Right.
we are hoping
for good trick-or-treating weather.
That's just only written in pencil right now. So.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. It's 6:49 and 58 degrees.
And looking ahead, what type of employee are you? The know-it-all, the rock star, the ostrich? Okay, tomorrow on
Mike says he's the ostrich. I don't know what that means.
Or maybe put your head in the sand, I guess. I don't know. How to deal with the people you work with to be better at your own job.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Everyone wants to be the rock star. I'm probably the know-it-all. I'm not going to lie. All right, 6:50 at 58 degrees. You can see that line, that beautiful line. Sun's starting to slowly rise up. We'll be right back.
Coming up here on a Tuesday on GMA, we'll have the latest with 3 weeks until the midterms, the crucial races that could tip the balance of power. Plus, the heated rematch that's getting national attention. And the fall freeze affecting so many of us, more than half the country here. I'm going to be tracking who gets how cold when. And the big new recession fears as the housing market is showing signs of cooling down. We'll tell you what it means if you're looking to buy or to sell. We knew it had to happen, but we'll have details coming up right here on GMA.
And Dia de los Muertos is an important Mexican holiday that honors loved ones that have passed away. And one of the special items included on ofrendas or altars are marigolds.
So today on GMSA at 9, Tiffany Huertas is going to take us to a local community farm that actually grows these special, beautiful flowers. We'll have that story and more today at 9 a.m. And we are just 2 weeks away from Halloween, and many homes in San Antonio have already put together some very creative but creepy displays.
We want to see how you decked out your home, so share your pictures with us on ksat.com, and we're going to add them to the gallery of photos that we have so far. So just click on the article and upload them online. We may even share them on the air. I know you have your house decorated on the outside. Mine's more decorated on the inside. I have a Halloween tree.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near the skeleton family that's Skywatchers.
No, they need to resubmit those.
Yeah. Beautiful job out there. Okay, Stephen, anything happening that people need to know about before they head up to the door?
We almost made it through the show without big problems, y'all. 35 at Alamo. Let's get a wide look at TransGuide because it is not looking good out there. Ksat has listed this as a serious crash in the northbound lanes of 35 as you are making your way into the Alamo City, and just a terrible spot for any incidents to happen at, especially as people are getting their morning started. We hope everyone's doing okay, but let's get you to the map because we're not seeing any movement really there that's going to really help anybody out to get to their destination on time. So 35 at Cesar Chavez Boulevard, it's where it's listed, but not the only crash we have to talk about. Really quick here, we still have this crash off I-35 southbound at Von Ormy. Hopefully that will be clearing soon. It's been there for a little while, but also this crash that popped up off of I-35 southbound at Loop 1604. Just a pretty busy start to morning rush. We'll be watching these roads closely, but one last look here. Mike, just not a way we'd like to end the show.
No, unfortunately not. Got some clouds hanging around, as you can see, and just that little sliver of the orange glow, perfect for October and Halloween. Sun's going to be coming up in about 40 minutes or so. 58 in town, 53 Kerrville, as well as Comfort. Still got some of those showers down to the south, but as you can see, everything's moving straight west to east, so all that rain will be remaining down there to the south, and we'll see the clouds kind of continue to break up throughout the course of the morning and then later on this afternoon. 68 for a high temperature, a bit of a breeze out there, and then really cold tomorrow morning. Mid 40s, upper 40s Thursday, and then more humidity by the weekend. Another rain chance next Monday.
Tomorrow morning, time for your scarf.
Yeah, time to shine. Pull out those fall clothes. Well, thank you so much,
It's going to be a Pashmina
Mike.
Wednesday.
Pashmina Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 9.
See you at 9.